Tactical Command, this is SORT. We are on final approach. I say again, on final.
Specifically the Special Operations Response Team repelling demonstration. If you draw your attention to the middle room, I'd like to introduce today's host, Sergeant Eric Ozzy Osborne!
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to day 10 of the Great New York State Fair. We appreciate the perseverance of those of you that sat through the Canine Show for no other purpose than to secure prime seats for this show. Best one at the fair, guaranteed not to give you fleas. We are SORT. SORT is the tactical element for the New York State Police. As such, we conduct all those operations you would expect a SWAT team to conduct. High-risk felony warrants, drug raids, barricaded subjects, hostage situations, dignitary protection. However, we also perform a few tasks that you wouldn't necessarily associate with a SWAT team, to include search and rescue, specifically high-angle rappelling and rope rescue. What we have for you this afternoon is what I hope will be a show of skill and prowess on the ropes. So without further ado, let's bring the guys down and introduce them.
2,000 surrounding us. Travel 2,000 kilometers to hang out.
Up on the left side of the tower, all the way from the Woolly Lake, north of Ogdensburg, don't you know? He could have been a Mountie or a trooper. We're glad to have him. Trooper Brandon Letterkenny Strader. Up on the right side, hailing from Utica, the home of the greens and the tomato pie. Trooper Chris, if you like dogs, how do you like these puppies? Swentage! Down here on the ropes, you've got the North Central team leader and all of these guys' boss, Sergeant Cliff. No, I don't play basketball. Wood! Up in that top window, spinning our beats, fresh off his European tour, where he played clubs from Milan to Minsk. He is available for weddings, bar mitzvahs, and of course, bachelorette parties. Trooper Brian DeRossi. Up on the left side of that tower, he has mastered every discipline in the SORT community, and he's branched out from the tactical to the sartorial. 2018, he spent all his free time at this state fair back in the hotel, sewing 4 bridesmaids' dresses for his sister's wedding. True story. Ladies and gentlemen, Trooper Brian Stitch Ordway. Silky smooth. And on the right side, our technology and communication specialist, sporting his brand new tactical multi-cam Chuck Taylor. Nice kicks, brother. Trooper Cole, don't call me radio, She-Bat. Smooth like Keith Stone. All right, as he works his way back up, I'm going to go ahead and tell you a little bit about the history of our team. In 1980, New York State welcomed the Winter Olympics to Lake Placid. Well, that was obviously a huge honor. It was also a huge responsibility. The 1972 terrorist attacks and subsequent massacre at the Munich Olympics weighed heavily on everyone's mind. The state police wanted a team capable of stopping such an attack. So they took firearms instructors, most of whom were military veterans, trained them up in counterterrorism tactics through the FBI. They were called the Mobile Response Team. Since then, our team has undergone several evolutions, and in 2008, we became a full-time team and changed our name to the Special Operations Response Team. We have 5 different teams spread out across the state's different regions. Each team is responsible for maintaining its own equipment, from the large pieces of equipment like that Lenco Bearcat over there, the armored vehicle on the grass, all the way to our individual equipment like our harnesses. On the front of each guy's harness, you're going to see a piece of equipment called the Figure 8. This is how we control our descent. The rope is fed through that. As a guy takes his hand away from his hip, that allows the rope to freely flow through the device. That's when we let gravity do its job, and we refer to that as letting her eat. Once you put it back towards your hip, push friction on that device, slowing and eventually stopping it. But telling you is one thing, showing you something different. So if you look up top, we've got Brandon and Chris who are going to come down and demonstrate. So it's pretty much a textbook demonstration there. Hand goes out, rope feeds through, they bring it back, feather that brake, land gently on that roof, just like they're supposed to. However, as the state fair goes on, we like to occupy and entertain ourselves. So we'll open that hand up, really let her eat. Throughout this show, you're going to notice this rope is going to develop some twists. You're really letting her eat. You got that hand open up, one of those loops hits your hand, it can jump right out. You lose your brakes on the thruway, that's a bad day on the road, right? You lose our brakes up here, that could be a bad day on the road. But that's why we have Sergeant Wood here. Cliff's not trying to be rude, showing his back. He's not trying to showcase his well-defined lats and traps. All that work's paying off, big fella. As our senior guy, he has the oh-so-important yet not at all glamorous job of rope safety or belayment. If one of these guys is coming down and they lose their brake, Cliff's going to pull on that rope, putting friction on that member's device, slowing and hopefully stopping it. But again, telling you is one thing, showing you something different. So to help me out, one of these guys is going to demonstrate. They're going to take a few steps back, they're going to get a running start, and they're going to throw themselves off of that roof with no hands on the rope. They're going to come hurtling towards Earth at an incredible rate of speed, accelerating at 9.8 meters per second until at the very last moment. Sergeant Wood, if he is physically able and so inclined, will engage a belay, stopping that trooper mere moments from certain death or at least a sprained ankle. Ladies and gentlemen, you paid for your whole seat. You're only going to need the edge. This part's going to be awesome. Woo. So who's doing it? Oh, come on, guys. You had time to figure it out. Who's doing it? You think it should? Yeah, he thinks it should be you. Of course you think it should be him. Take it to a vote, huh? You want to let the people decide? All right, folks. All right. Up on the left side's Brandon. All right. On the right side's Chris. So, who here wants to see Brandon jump off? Okay. Who here wants to see Chris jump off? Real close. We're going to try it again. Who here wants to see Brandon jump? How about Chris? Chris is undefeated in this. Sorry, Brandon. Or sorry, Chris. I'm not sure who wins this. But it looks like Chris is the victor. Brandon doesn't look too heartbroken. All right, folks. Let's hear it for Chris, the person you volunteered. All right, so like I said, Chris is going to take a few steps back. He's going to get a running start. He's going to jump off that roof with no hands on the rope. We're going to pull the belay at the last second to stop him inches away from the bottom. It's going to be awesome. Woo. All right, Chris, you ready? 1, 2, 1. The Sheep Club. Yeah, that's not Cliff, is it? Excuse me, folks. Give me a minute. I apologize. Hello, sweetheart. How you doing today? What's your name? Sage. All right, Sage. Did he tell you what to do? No instructions whatsoever. Right under the bus with you, Cliff. That's where you belong. All right. I'll tell you what. I'll give you the advanced course. You're holding the rope now. That's step one. All right. Have you done this before? Do you have a belay success rate? We're going to establish it today. After today, it will be 100 or 0. We'll figure out your belay success rate in just a minute. So you're holding it. That's step one. Step two is when he jumps, you just pull on the rope. Piece of cake, right, Sage? Got it. Like on the first, second bounce, it doesn't matter. At some point, pull on the rope. All right? It's going to work out awesome. He's going to stop eventually no matter what, so there's no pressure on you. Chris, what do you say, brother? I think it looks good. She got the cat ears on. She looks wicked strong. As police officers, we're trained to read body language. That is obviously not a great sign. I'm pretty tough down here, aren't I? I'm very courageous. All right, folks, hold on just a second. I apologize. I know dead air is awful for entertainment. I just got to talk to my colleague here real quick. Hey, Cliff, between you and me, I don't really care how this goes. I know you don't care. Everyone here can tell. You don't care.
Hear you.
What?
I can hear you.
Oh, do me a favor, earmuff it. Grown-ups are talking. Thank you. But like I was saying, he is a prima donna. It's all about that hair, all about the good looks. But if he burns in and Sage's hands are on the rope and yours aren't, our state fair days are over. No more pizza free, no more fried specialties. It's back to meth labs and crack houses, dude. No bueno. All right, sounds good. All right. She's seen enough, so she knows the deal. She'll be able to save him. All right, folks. Cliff's conscience got the better of him. I think he's going to go ahead and do the one job he has, but he's going to have Sage back him up. All right? What do you say, Chris? You good now? You got 2 belays. Folks, let's give him a little bit of encouragement, all right? Help me out. We're going to count them up to 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Woo! Very nice. And now she can hold him up as long as she sees fit. We can make this as long as a dog show if we want. Keep him hanging right there. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for our belay Sage. Those of you that are veterans to this show know we try to get our guy a little closer every time. Come back on Labor Day, it's going to be a real nail biter. All right, as you can see, you can end up in some precarious positions up there. Gravity doesn't take an instant off. But if you get twisted up or in a bad position, as long as you don't panic, as long as you keep your cool, and most importantly, as long as you keep your brake hand, you're going to be A-okay. So if you look all the way up top, we've got Ryan and Cole who are going to come down and demonstrate. All right, Ryan and Cole came down in that standard seated hip rappel like everyone else has, but now they're going to transition their brake hand from the right to their left. This is going to allow them to go ahead and invert. So now, even though they're upside down, as long as they maintain that newfound brake hand, they're not going to smash face first in this beautifully managed landscaping we have here. This is what we call the commando crawl. It allows our guys to see where they're going before they present their feet or other body part to an opening. But once they've gone far enough and seen all they feel they need to see, they can go ahead and revert, reassume that brake hand, and come on down. Complete with a superhero landing. Ladies and gentlemen, the invert. Just as a side note, we did recruit these guys to the team directly from a synchronized swimming academy. All those hours in the pool have really paid off. Folks, as I talk out here, there's going to be a reoccurring theme throughout this show. Safety. We're dealing with heights. We're dealing with extreme angles. We're dealing with hard, sharp edges. It is inherently dangerous. Anybody that's rappelling or perhaps rock climbing can be injured, or they can find themselves in a bad position where they can neither go up nor down. We have to have the means to go ahead and rescue them. Ladders aren't necessarily going to reach high enough to get them, and helicopters can be counterproductive. Those rotors don't do our ropes any favors, if you know what I'm saying. So if you look all the way up top, we've got Brandon, who's going to come down and start our demonstration. right, say Brandon's working his way down a sheer cliff face in Letchworth, the high peaks, or perhaps Ithaca, because it is gorgeous. He gets to a spot he wants to be for a minute. He's going to take that rope, wrap it around his 8, not once, not twice, but thrice. This is a tie-off. Once Brandon's tied off, he can go hands-free. He can invert, like the yoga pose there. He can hang out, strike a smooth pose. That's not a smooth pose. That's how I'll put it. Get his cell phone out, snap a selfie, post it to his MySpace page. Anybody else still running MySpace? Just me? I haven't had a message in 8 years. But say he's hanging out enjoying himself, and a rock hits him in the head. Or an Angry Bird. It's sponges. Oh, outstanding reenactment, very realistic. So now Brandon's been knocked unconscious, but we can't leave him up there. We've got a lot of time and money invested in him, and we kind of like him. So if you look all the way up top, we've got Chris. Chris is going to work his way down his rope. He's going to latch hands onto Brandon and hopefully bring them both down to safety. Come on down, Chris.
Can't keep my hands to myself.
Okay.
No matter how hard I'm trying to.
We choose all our own music out here. This is a bold choice for Chris. What? This is your musical selection, is it not? Are you sure? Well, maybe we chose it. We thought it fit in the moment. For real? DJ DeRoshi, our tactical diva won't come down. Says he needs something way more manly. He's got something. Hold on. Practices that dance every night at the hotel in front of me. I knew that'd get him down there. Loves the weather girls. As Chris works his way down, you're going to notice he has a different piece of equipment on the front of his harness. He doesn't have an 8. He has what's called a brake bar rack. That's going to allow Chris to take additional weight onto his system. In this case, that additional weight is going to be Brandon. But before he does anything, he's got to perform a tie-off, lest Chris would fall to the ground and become another casualty in the rescue. Once he's tied off, he reaches for that blue strap on his hip. That's called a pick-off strap. It's designed specifically for rope rescue applications. Then he uses a partial inversion and his impressive wingspan, thank you Vanna, to hook into Brandon's setup. Once he is hooked and locked into Brandon, he uses those impressive biceps and he somehow shoehorns into a medium t-shirt, a large, not in the men's section, to pull Brandon up. As he pulls him up, you can see how Brandon instinctively reaches for Chris's hips and legs. We're a very close-knit team. At this point, we ask no photos be taken. Thank you. You can see Brandon's line has gone slack. That's an indication that his weight has been removed from the line. Now Chris is securing all of Brandon's hardware, and he will completely free Brandon from his line. All the steps must be performed in the proper sequence or else it would be catastrophic. Definitely for Brandon. I think Chris would be okay. Now Chris undoes his tie-off and will hopefully lower him and Brandon safely to the ground. Looks like he nailed it, ladies and gentlemen, the pick-off. All right, folks. We showed you basic rappelling, we showed you safety measures we have in place, we showed you a very small percentage of the rescue work that we are capable of. However, there is also a tactical application to the rappelling we're demonstrating here today. Say, for example, there's a bad guy creeping around these fairgrounds, snatches up a kid, goes up in that building, barricades the door shut. Horrible choice of location, but I digress. He's got that door barricaded shut, he feels real confident we're not going to be able to breach it. But unfortunately for that bad guy, Special Operations Response Team doesn't need to come in through the door. We can come in through the window. But before we do, we never roll anywhere by ourselves. The men and women in the gray bag, the road troopers, they're always the first ones there, locking down the scene, getting people to safety, controlling the scene. Then you have supervisors, investigators, negotiators, and also our teammates in the Special Operations world, including our friendly rivals, the K9 guys. We joke back and forth, we like to have fun, but at the end of the day, when it's business time, we work together quite well. You've seen this drone giving you all outstanding footage throughout this show. That's being piloted by K9 Ada's handler, Trooper Mark Bender. In a situation like this, the hostage situation, it would give us real-time actionable intelligence and let us see what's going on inside. It's a huge game changer and we appreciate it. However, when it comes to technology, we trust but verify. There is no substitution for the human eye. So if you look all the way up top, it looks like we're ready for Ryan to run the recon. Ryan's careful to land very gently on that roof so as not to notify anyone of his presence. He rotates in the commando crawl, gets eyes in those windows looking for the hostage and hostage taker. Whoa! That is not our target. I'm at my first window. I forgot you were coming from up there. She seems upset. Oh, she's had a change of heart. Call her. Wife left to get out of there. She's getting handsy. Ryan is seeing things he can't unsee. Good employee assistance on the phone for you, brother. He's got eyes in that bottom window, and he is confirming what the drone is reporting. Hostage and hostage taker are in there. Now Ryan's reaching on the back of that harness for that canister. It's a noise flash diversion device, commonly referred to as a flashbang. That's going to emit a bright light and loud noise that distracts and disorients the bad guy while he sees the initiative. Looks like Ryan's ready to deploy the bang, and it looks like Cole is ready to effect the rescue. Cole's in the window. He's looking for the bad guy. There he is, a flying kick. Uh-oh, he's got the upper hand on Cole. He's working the body right to a Bo Howard eye gouge into a pile driver, ladies and gentlemen. And no. Jeez, no, don't cheer for that. Oh, the ring girl? Outstanding. Nice job, Cole. You're 30-0 at this point against that. Well done. Undefeated, outstanding. Hey, good news, bad news is. Good news, you won. The bad news is you're going to lose some vacation days right there. Yeah, policy and procedures do not allow you to throw a pedophile out of a second-story window. No. The manual clearly states it must be the 3rd floor or higher. Second floor is not getting it done, you know what I'm saying? Cole, how's the kid doing? Yeah, the kid, remember? That's why you repelled. There he is. Hey, Timmy's okay. Another save for Cole Sheba. He's ready for the game. SU gear and everything. And his brother Tommy. Oh, double save for Cole Sheba. Let's hear it for Cole, guys. Nice work. Folks, hopefully you've had a good time out here. Hopefully you can tell we have a good time out here. We try not to take ourselves too seriously. We love working on this awesome tower. We love interacting with you good people. State Fair is a nice break for us. However, at the end of the day, it is a serious business we're involved in. If you look along that roof line, we have 4 sets of numbers. Those are 4 shield numbers of the men on the Jumbotron. Joseph Longobardo, David Brinkerhoff, Michael Strank, and Ross Riley. Those 4 men were operators on our team who died in the line of duty. They made the ultimate sacrifice for the people of the state of New York. We think it's those guys that deserve a real round of applause this afternoon. Folks, you've been a great crowd. We appreciate it. Thanks for toughing out that stench that the dogs caused just a few minutes ago. We appreciate you sticking around. We'll blame it on them all the time. Feel free to come forward after the show. We'll have stickers for the kids, answer questions, pose for pictures, tasteful, of course. You got the Trooper Foundation here, the PBA right here. You can pick up all your state police swag. Thanks again for coming out, guys, and enjoy the rest of your day at the great New York State Fair.